Ashley, let's talk about the Mayfairs.
Yay! I say
right.
for the very first time ever.
Ashley and Joel here from the Articulate Coven, and
Hey,
we are
guys.
discussing the Mayfair SDCC Comic Con panel from 2024. If you are interested, by the way, our panel discussion of Interview with the Vampire is also available in this feed wherever you got this, so go check that out. I said in that discussion, I think I liked Mayfair better, and it's because they had new info. I don't know almost anything about season 2, and they had a lot of stuff to drop, actually.
Yeah, because even if you think you know anything about the series, you don't, because they're just completely off the fucking rails. So even if I do reread Lasher, as I said, I need to now, I'm still probably not going to know what the hell's going on in advance of what happens, just because they're taking their own path through the forest.
They really, really are. I will say this. I'll get it out of the way. Miss Spalding, our showrunner for this show, she mentioned that book a lot, didn't she? She
did.
even mentioned the third book. Ashley?
She used words that I've only seen in Anne Rice books, and that got me very curious that maybe she's picked up a book in the off season.
The Lasher and Taltos are the second and third book in this witch trilogy, and neither one of them are short, but both of them are shorter than The Witching Hour. Is it just that The Witching Hour was too long for her, do you think?
It was too long for everybody. No one wanted to read
Alexandra
it.
Daddario finished it before they finished filming, so she got through it.
That's how she knows she likes to fuck.
I was going to say, she knows a lot about Rowan because she read the first book. Exactly. She knows about all the old boyfriends.
Yeah.
I mean, that is totally accurate, that Rowan is promiscuous. All right, let's say this right off the top. Spalding walks out. They announce her. She got the tiniest cheer of the whole cast and crew. Like two dudes in the back. It was like her son and her brother, were cheering in the back of the room.
I think that it's hard to get really excited about showrunners for a basic fan.
That's fair. So you're saying it was a different group of people that were in the room for interview.
Yeah.
It's like playwright fans.
I think that it's Whereas we're like, if I saw Roland Jones, I would recognize him on the street. If
I might tackle him. I might
give him a kiss.
It would be an uncomfortable interaction for him probably because I'm assuming he would not recognize me.
No, I don't think he knows us, Joel. Sadly. Tragically.
Okay.
Treacherously. Yeah, no, I think it's just a different fan vibe, I think that a lot of people that would be a big fangirl over her are not fans of the show.
I like that Mark Johnson didn't get up. He just kept his seat in between panels and waited.
He always seems like it's like Armand and his iPad is the real vibe I get from him. It's always like he's not quite 100% there. Like he might be answering an email on his when no one's looking at him during the moment.
We talked about on the main podcast. I talked about Bob Evans, the old Hollywood producer.
Yeah, the sausage man.
But he was, I said he was like one of those, hey, Boobala, let's have a cocktail at 9 a.m. kind of, let's do, my people will call your people.
Yeah.
I get the sense that Mark Johnson's a guy like that really likes that Hollywood lifestyle.
I'd have a martini with him before 10 a.m.
He's enjoying himself, right?
Yeah.
Having a good time.
He's having a good time. And I think he's genuinely enjoying his work right now. I think he's really enjoying this journey that he's on with the people that he's on the trip with,
Okay, so we're going to get half the season this year for Mayfair in New Orleans.
Yes.
And then half of it's going to take place in Scotland.
Yes.
That's exciting because, again, that's pretty much the track of the Lasher novel. Very strange.
Right. It's weird. Are we...
We're doing books again, maybe.
We're doing
I don't
books
know.
again. I don't know. They talked about shit I forgot was in Lasher. So, that's why I'm going to have to read it again.
Here's some stuff that's not in Lasher. Here's some stuff that's not in that trilogy. I'm like 99% certain. We're going to meet a Talamasca elder this season.
Yes.
Okay. I do, and please in the comments correct me if I'm wrong on this. I don't believe the elders are mentioned until, I know they're not met until the Prince Lestat trilogy.
Yeah, I haven't run across any in my journey
Okay,
yet.
good.
And
That's
we know I'm about a decade behind.
Like we knew, like what do they call them? Not inspector generals. What do they? It's something general.
Oh yeah. General.
Director general.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes,
like they're
okay. Yeah, so like David Talbot in the novels was the director general at the time of Tale of the Body Thief, or right before Tale of the Body
Right.
Thief, and then that story happens, and then he might
and
not
then
be the
things-
director general
things
anymore.
change, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, this idea of an elder is there in the novels, but it is a like late novel thing. And it's very much something that you would have to address in the Talamasca series.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea that we're going to meet one this season in Mayfair is very, very crazy to me. And genuinely, like, in the off season, we're going to have a lot of reading to do, y'all.
Yeah.
There's a lot of books now.
Yeah, there are. Like, we might have to refigure some of our planning and read a little bit more than we thought we were going to. Because we were talking about not reading Lasher. Like, let's be honest.
Can I
there.
tell you how, like, I threw up my hands like we had scored a touchdown when she said Taltos?
Right, that's what I mean. I was like, what the fudge?
She said Lasher is in the novels. Those are it's a Taltos and a Taltos, and I'm like, you did like, I mean, we wondered if they were even gonna bother going there. Like, is that what they're? Why not just make him a demon baby?
Yeah, because who cares? Who cares?
They're gonna do it. They're gonna do the
it.
thing.
They're gonna do the thing. I like it. I'm excited. I'm more excited. I'm more excited about the show than I was before I watched the panel. 100%. Big time. You know,
yes.
like, I'm not dreading it nearly as much as I was.
I am so intrigued now.
I also really like that they were having fun joking about her demon lover baby child. Like, that was just funny to me. I was like, I'm glad that they're like really, really wallowing in the absurdity of all of that.
How does she feel about the baby? Well, she wants to have sex with him, but also love him like a child. It's very Anne Rice.
It's very Anne Rice.
It is very Anne Rice, y'all.
It's very Anne Rice. Now, but we are still stuck with these random ass, seemingly non-essential characters.
Okay.
I think someone being straight up being able to just read minds is one of the most boring, can be one of the most boring superpowers a person could have. Like, it just doesn't leave any room for nuance.
Okay. Last year they gave us a young witch, member of the family with significant power, who could have been maybe an heir if Rowan hadn't shown up, sort of thing.
Right.
And they called her Tessa instead of Mona, like the character that we expected from the novels. And then Tessa has a storyline in season 1 and Tessa dies. And they say, we're going to introduce Tessa's sister, who'll come and get revenge and right the wrongs of her sister's death in season 2. And we all went, oh, Mona, great. No, not Mona, Mora. Why? Why not just call her Mona?
I
don't know either.
I don't know. And I don't know why we have all these characters with these, like, ridiculous little nicknames we're supposed to call them. Like, just, like, too many characters' names whose like, nicknames is in air quotes for me. It just annoys me. Anyway, I'm back to
bless
hate
this
watching.
MC. God bless this MC. He was such a great sport throughout. But in particular, the moment that I thought that and wrote it down was because about halfway through this, he gets to Cyprian Greaves or whatever his name is, and goes, Sip, Sip. Oh, I love Sip so much. And I'm like, do you? Do you love Sip? The new character from Mayfair Witches, is that?
It feels like Sip could not even be in the second season.
I didn't remember what happened to him at the end of season 1. I finally remembered halfway through this panel when he's talking. I'm like, oh yeah, the Talamasca picked him back up.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm not going to call those rogue agents the Talamasca anymore. That's the Tallymasker, okay? That's the Tallymasker from South Louisiana. And the Tallymasker told him that he needed to go. That's right. They told him he needed to go get that baby.
Go get that baby.
So, but that's fine. And look, the actor is fine. The actor is fine.
He's fine.
But that character is
fine.
nothing. That character is nothing. Where we had two really interesting characters from the novels that you erased to put him into Like, again, just take any of the interesting characteristics from either one of them.
Yeah.
Michael was an alcoholic, for instance.
Right.
You couldn't have taken that and done an interesting storyline with Sip.
I mean, yeah, right? It's just everything with the show is very surface. Like, all the characters are very just basic surface, like, not a lot of depth, not a lot going on. But I think that maybe that will change a little bit this season. I honestly do think, Joel, I think maybe that book was too big for them to read.
I got all my fingers and toes crossed. I don't know, man.
But we might have a much better time.
Okay, wait a minute. Let's talk about Rowan's new boyfriend, who's an old boyfriend, apparently.
Yes.
Who is a geneticist and not
Who
a
also
witch.
has a cutesy nickname.
Lark is what they call him. Larkin, I think, is his name on the show. He's not a totally invented character, but they took a character who isn't romantically involved with Rowan and gave him some connection to her. He starts telling a story about how his mother was a great Anne Rice fan, and so he took her ashes and dumped them in Paris. A totally normal thing to do. He keeps repeating,
right?
It is.
It's because of the way he phrased it.
I dumped her ashes in a place that she liked.
In a place that she liked. I didn't just dump them. It sounded very inelegant, which I had a very inelegant experience trying to scatter some of my dad's ashes.
Oh my God, did you really?
I lost a baggie of my father in the sea. Yeah. I was trying to scatter his ashes. I was at Amy and TJ's wedding. I was trying to scatter his ashes at midnight on his birthday, and I got knocked over by a big wave, and the baggie I had my dad in fell out of the waistband of my sarong and was gone forever.
Well,
I hope someone thought he was drugs and smoked him. That's my deepest, strongest wish in my life, is that I really hope somebody was like, oh, so smack.
It's that good stuff.
That good, that loud.
That's beautiful in its own way.
Yes.
Let me tell you.
Happy to share with everyone.
Well, you and Lark now share such an experience.
Exactly.
There you go.
He dumped his mom out in France.
But he came home from that trip, and he had gotten the call that they want him on the new Anne Rice show. So that was a cool moment. And I do like, at least here we have someone who has some connection to Anne Rice.
Well,
like, she went to the vampire balls, he said.
Yeah, that's clearly the party he was talking about. He's like, she went to this party with her vampire friends every year in New Orleans.
Anne Rice vampire party. I'm like, the fucking balls, man. Everybody knows about the vampire balls.
It's all I've ever wanted in life is to go.
Okay. Two funny things from Harry Hamlin. First of all, he confirmed what I said when we first talked about the episode. Them turning him into a statue was a reference to Clash of the Titans.
So funny.
And then, because it wasn't even in the script, they decided it on the day. They're like, oh yeah, let's freeze you
on the day. We'll do it on the day.
They're doing it live. Actually,
we're doing it live. Doing it on the day.
I wish I could be like or I wish I could see anyway, the special effects artist who did that work when they said that at the panel. Oh yeah,
my God.
That's a great idea. Let's decide on the day.
Yeah, it was super fun. It was super. We had so much money left over at that point.
I didn't have anything to do that weekend.
So much to work with. Yeah, fuck that. That guy hates his job. That guy hates his job. Bless.
Okay, so Mark Johnson says of the Talamasca, they were asking specifically about that show and you know where it's going to go. He talked a little bit about it, but he specifically said, unlike their credo, they do interfere. So, like, right off the top, we know that they're going to... Our whole idea of, like, rogue agents of the Talamasca from New Orleans, that might not be true, actually. It might just be the way that this group runs.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, let's be honest. These little fuckers have been sticking their thumbs in pies for quite a while now. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
Let's not act like this whole Mayfair shit didn't start with the Talamasca guy getting laid by a witch.
Okay. And Spalding calls out that they didn't go to Amsterdam, but they used Scotland or part of Scotland to pretend for Amsterdam, which makes me wonder if we aren't going to get
a little history.
Some real old, beginning of the Talamasca, beginning of the Mayfair's stuff.
That's what I wanted in the first season. So
Right.
I would be quite delighted to get some of that. Maybe they made someone read the book over the summer. It was their summer reading project.
I wonder if Rollin assigned it. Listen,
Yeah.
you can get Sam the Vampire and Lestat's boyfriend from New Orleans in the modern day, but only if you do a book report on Lasher.
Right. I need you to show your work, prove that you read the book.
Alexandria Daddario is talking about, they were asking about like the witchiness of New Orleans, this like very like crazy vibe that you've got in New Orleans. And did you guys get into all of that? I love the idea that Alex is just buying every tourist trap voodoo thing in town, right?
Yeah, I think that's hilarious. I like picture her getting hassled on the street by the fake Buddhist monks.
Can I tell you? I bet
But I
$5
gotta
I can tell you where you got them shoes.
It's my husband.
Got them on your feet.
Brett's fucking favorite thing on earth is when we're in New Orleans in the quarter and someone pops off with that at me or him, and I'm just like, on his feet, god damn it, and we just move right along. Like, he loves it. He's like, you have no patience for that, and I was like, no, I'm not. I've heard that shit since I was like 12. Are you kidding me?
The fact that I'm walking in the quarter does not make me a tourist, okay?
It
We're
does
done
not
with
make
that.
me, and it does not make me stupid.
Don't sell it to me. We're not
Oh my
buying.
god.
Exactly. Okay, the other thing, though, that I love is in this same situation, I think it's Alex that says there's a spirituality in New Orleans, talking about how she's floating in the blessed oil or whatever. And then Harry Hamlin offers up, and potholes.
And potholes, which is also true. Yeah.
Yes, the potholes run as deep as the spirituality. It's absolutely
quite true. And it's below sea level, so that shit's deep. Full of water.
Okay, someone asked Harry, by the way, if he had talked to Lisa Rinna about maybe finding something to do in the show. And then there was a joke about how they don't have Lisa Rinna casting money. But listen, if you're trying to make me a Mayfair fan, putting Lisa Rinna in this show is not going to be a bad move on your part.
I've enjoyed her since her Days of Our Lives days. You know, she was Billy Reed.
Billy.
She was fantastic.
I loved Billy so much
Just
in Days of Our
came
Lives.
into town and caused all sorts of problems for Bo.
She had a hard life.
She did.
Billy had a hard row
She
to
did.
hoe.
She did, and a hot brother.
She did have a hot brother. Listen, I did love Billy, but if Christian Alfonso is interested in maybe playing a witch, I could get. I
Bring
love
her
Hope
in.
more. I'll be honest.
Bring her in.
Anyway, yeah, I'm for more soap opera actors on this show. Honestly, if you're gonna go camp, go ahead
let's
and
do
camp it up.
Embrace it.
What's Marlena doing? She could get possessed.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that was the best storyline.
What if they
Holy
went to Salem,
shit.
Ashley?
Oh my god, holy shit. Lord. That's the crossover event I want. Like, I'm like, I don't really need her to fuck Lestat. Let's have a crossover event with Days of Our Lives.
Send Rowan to
Or
fight.
Passions. Even better, Passions. There
Well,
was
see,
a witch in that.
I think maybe I'm wrong in this, but I want to say that Passions and Days of Our Lives are supposed to be in the same universe, because I think they had crossover episodes sometimes.
They were on the same network, for sure.
Yes, but I think they did I think sometimes, like they do on primetime on NBC.
Like someone just shows up in town.
Well, no, there's
something.
There's a storm or something, and the storm affects both towns or something, you know?
Yeah.
Like they do that all the time on primetime. It's the blackout in New York, and all the shows would be without power.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I think they did that for Days of Our Lives and Passions.
We digress.
Yeah. Listen, a crossover with daytime soap operas would do it for me with Mayfair, I think.
Yeah.
This panel did it for me. Good job, folks. If you wanted to get me interested, you have my interest.
Yes.
I'm looking in your direction now.
And
I
for the
won't
first
just be hate
time,
watching to start.
a feeling of perhaps hope?
A little bit.
Is that hope that I feel? I don't know.
It's new to us. I don't know.
It's a new feeling for Mayfair, and I'm frankly excited to experience it.
All right, if you have not seen our discussion of the San Diego Comic Con panel from Interview with the Vampire, go check that out on the same feed where you saw this one. And coming soon, we're going to be starting our discussion of Midnight Mass, the Netflix series from Mike Flanagan, as a little diversion here in between Immortal Universe seasons.
Just killing some time.
That's right. That's right. All right. We'll be killing some more time with you. We'll see you soon. Until then, we have been the Articulate Coven.